Hello, it's Monday the 8th of January and finally Bitcoin's big week has arrived. This road to a Bitcoin exchange traded fund has been a pretty long journey. Actually, it's been 10 years. Not quite 10 years, 9.5 years. The first initial attempt at a Bitcoin ETF was July 2013 when Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss had a go, those two dodgy pair from Facebook. And here we are, it looks finally like we're going to get it approved. And the deadline for it to be approved for the ARC application is Wednesday. So sometime between now and Wednesday, we're going to get the news. Is it going to be a sell the news event or is it going to go much higher? I have to say, this morning, one of the reasons that we're rallying so hard, apart from the timing, I think, and because Bitcoin is very quiet at weekends, one of the reasons I think we're rallying so hard is BlackRock announced their fees this morning for their ETF, and they announced a fee of 0.3%, which was much lower than the market was expecting. For some context, I think Fidelity is at 0.39, and 20 minutes after BlackRock put in their filing, ARC dropped their fee to just 0.25%. So BlackRock's initial fee, I think, will be 0.2 and then 0.3% after the first 6 months. So it looks like these firms that there's going to be some really good competition, and it looks like these firms are seeking to undercut each other. And when you think about it, if you can, if you're not in Bitcoin because you believe it's going to change the finance world, but you're just trading it because it's going to make you some money, then why would these exchanges must be not happy, when you think what they charge in fees compared to ETF fees of less than 0.3% for an insured product. When you trade in the ETF, it's insured and it's on, a regulated exchange. So I think that a lot of the Bitcoin trading may move to ETFs. And that happens a lot in other markets as well. For example, in GLD, which is the gold ETF, the volume is enormous compared to for regular investors, compared to not for central banks, obviously, but for regular investors, the market, the volume in gold ETFs are so much more than in physical gold. And when you think about it, it makes sense, when you think about how cheap it is to invest in a GLD ETF compared to buying a single ounce of gold, which is north of $2,000 per ounce. So I think that Bitcoin is going to go the same way, and this is pretty bullish. So what about where we are and what we're doing now? If we look at it on the 4-hour, we've been in this choppy sideways range around a big 38.2 fib level. If I go to the weekly, though, it doesn't look so choppy at all. For me, it looks like on the weekly close that this 38.2 was pretty strong resistance. And here, and we've had 4 inside bars in a row, which if you're a Toby Crable fan, when you break out from that, you don't fade it. It's going to keep going. So we've had 4 inside weeks, and now we are holding above. And this is what I always wanted to see if we were going to keep going higher, holding above this 44,000 level. And it looks like we are. And if we measure the swings, for me, the first target for this swing would be that round number 50,000 level. And if we look left, there kind of is some support and resistance around there. And if we look at fib reversal levels, my second target above 50,000 would be 53,400 in the spot. And if you are looking at this in the futures, let's switch to those futures and have a look. Because the futures are trading at a little bit of a premium. And again, I'm going to put my fibs on this big all-time lows to highs in the futures. You can see we reversed at a 786 fib level. You have 2 targets when you do that: a back test of the 38.2 And if you go beyond it, the 236 fib next. So we can see this 44,000 level back test is where we have broken out from in this sideways range, and we are pushing higher. And the next big fib level is 53,700. However, around 50,000, we've got a little bit of an unfilled gap here. We've got a little bit of a level. I'm not sure which one we're going to stop at, but you know, that round number 50,000 quite often has a pretty interesting effect. So I would say 50,000 level would be a bit of a wobble in the middle, and then 53,700 next. So more upside to come. Now in these futures, we haven't quite broken out of our sideways range yet. Same as Bitcoin. Again, it's only when you look at this weekly and you say, gosh, yeah, support becomes resistance, resistance becomes support, and that is what, for me, what's happening here at this 44,000 level. So I don't really see this reversing until the approval is done. I just, you know, I have really bad memories of the CME futures and how the market got so excited about it and rallied all the way into it, and then as soon as people were able to do it cheaply, they shorted it. So we could see the same in Bitcoin once the ETF is up and running. But I actually think that being able to trade Bitcoin so cheaply for a lot of funds is going to be a great investment. But if we get too overbought, it will be very cheap for them to short it as well. And we should remember that. And very easy to get in and out. Okay, good luck. Buckle up. I really do think it's coming. I would be shocked if it was rejected again at this point. And even if it was rejected at this point, I do think it would just be because they're not ready or in a delay. I really don't see how much longer it can be held off. Okay.